What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. This episode, I'm joined with Paul. Going to go one-on-one. The other guys are MIA this week, but they'll be back next week to talk about whatever they've been up to during the holiday break. What's good, Paul? How was your break?
Good, but as everyone will always say, too fast. Too fast, too
Yeah.
furious.
Some
Family.
people, it's some people are like too much time with family. I need to go back to my regular routine, but other people are very much all about the holidays. I was actually all about the holidays this year. I went all in, embraced it.
Really?
Yeah, I always get into the Christmas music, but I felt like whatever was on the radio didn't really live up to the Christmas spirit that I was looking for. So I ended up making my own playlist and just spending like an hour and a half on that. And I was rocking it always at home. And then when I went to my brother's house for Christmas, I took over the speakers and we were rocking the Christmas playlist over there too. It was a good time.
For me, I love, there's a couple like Christmas classic songs I have to hear, but I love Sia's album, Her Christmas.
Oh, I
Candy
didn't know
Cane
she had.
Lane. Yeah, she has a couple dope songs. She has a whole album.
Did she
And
do
they have,
covers or original stuff or both?
I think both, but I think more original stuff like Candy Cane Lane. Um, it's just she has a like a and the videos are pretty cool too. But
Okay.
that's my go-to.
I ended up watching a lot of Christmas movies. So I had a good week and a half, almost 2 weeks off. I watched literally everything on Max, Paramount Plus, and Peacock. And I even went and dug up like the 1971 Scrooge movie that's in black and white and was like, I need this digitally restored and remastered right now.
Damn.
Like I went in deep.
I didn't go that deep. I did a lot of like Christmas horror, and of course we did a lot of like family Christmas. Did you get a chance to do It's a Wonderful Life again?
I did. Yep. Loved it.
So would you like now retrospectively, would you put it as one of your top Christmas movies?
Let me take it back a little bit further. So this was a little bit of a controversial because it was like, what was the movie Pedro picked? It was Miracle on 34th Street. But then he mentioned that he meant to pick It's a Wonderful Life. I
Yeah.
watched Miracle on 34th Street, the original. I watched It's a Wonderful Life, and I watched the 1994 Miracle on 34th Street, which doesn't hold up. So if I had to go back and sort of, I think the category was like best Christmas classic, and he went with Miracle on 34th Street, which I hadn't seen, but I was like, okay, respect, it's a classic. I didn't really have much of a say, but I don't know. Going back now, it's still pretty close. Have you watched that original?
I haven't seen that in a long time. I probably saw it on TV when I was a kid. But for me, it was always It's a Wonderful Life is like a staple.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
I love that classic like Miracle on 34th Street where Santa Claus is on trial and all that. But this it just always makes you like no matter how down you are and like or if you're depressed or whatever during the holidays, this movie is just like I don't know how you could watch this and not be uplifted and like, you know, I
Yeah,
just be in a much higher spirit for the holiday season.
yeah,
I
it
don't know.
was great. It was
I
great.
yeah, I think it's definitely a top. But anyway, so that was good. What about some 2024 stuff? I have a little beef to pick with you real quick.
Okay,
Uh, before we move on. You
okay.
mentioned something that you didn't like, and I got to get your pick on this. Uh, Deadpool Wolverine. So you were not a fan of this.
I was not a fan. I didn't, and I knew I wasn't gonna be. I didn't watch it in theaters, but I watched it on TV over the summer, I think. I'm not a huge Deadpool fan. I like Deadpool 1 when it first came out. It was so original. Him like breaking the fourth wall and talking to the camera, just being a wisecracking, you know, killer. I thought the special effects in that original movie were incredible. It was just so new, so different, and just broke everything we understood or were familiar with in terms of like the superhero movies that we were watching. The second one I didn't think was as good, but I thought it was fine. I think my beef is just like I'm a little bit over the whole shtick of Deadpool and Ryan, what's his name? The
Ryan
actor.
Reynolds.
Yeah, like he just plays the same, like that's him in everything. It's just this
Yeah,
like wisecracking, smirking kind of guy. And I just felt like Deadpool Wolverine, I described it as like being stuck in a car with two 12-year-olds who like can't shut the F up. And that's how I felt about the movie. I was just like, dude, someone shut this guy up, please. And Hugh Jackman like acted his ass off in the whole movie. And I didn't feel bad for him because I'm sure they're pals and he had a great time. But I was just like, I don't know. And the plot was like completely inconsequential. Every action scene was inconsequential because you have two characters that essentially can't be injured, they can't kill, they can't be killed, they can't be hurt. So it's like, I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit empty. I'm also like not really nostalgic about like movies from the early 2000s. Like I don't really need to know what happened to the Human Torch or Blade or Gambit. Like I don't know. It's just not. And I understood immediately like this movie's not in my wheelhouse. It's not for me. But I watched it because how of its cultural impact and how everybody loved it. So I didn't want to have an opinion without watching it. Um, I'm not hating on it. It's just not for me. I kind of get that, but yeah, I think I'm just kind of I didn't really see anything in it.
I mean, just to get him in his, comic accurate costume and have them together playing off each other was huge. It did have a huge impact because it brought back Wolverine to the MCU because he was killed off in Logan and they
Yep,
didn't want to resurrect that, that version of Wolverine. So it's great that now this opens the door to have him like in Avengers 5 and 6, like Secret Wars and Doom and whatever, which is pretty cool. But just seeing those two, like, yeah, you're right. Ryan Reynolds is always the same. I mean, even Spirited, we were talking about Christmas movies. He's the same. He's like Deadpool and Spirited, basically.
even in those like TV commercials for like his banking company that
Yeah, yeah, and
whatever.
or whatever the mobile company has. Yeah, it's always the same shtick. But yeah, I think Hugh Jackman, acted his ass off.
Yo, he was emotionally invested in that character's journey, whatever that character was going through in that film. Like in the car when he was expressing how frustrated he was, like I believed everything Hugh Jackman was going through in that film as Wolverine. It was just a weird contrast to like every time there was an emotional beat, it would be offset by like a dick joke. And
Yeah, yeah.
I just
Well, they gave him that time, like when was talking to his daughter for a little while. I mean, you could tell like he really loved doing this because he
yeah,
was looking forward to this version for such a long time. He
definitely.
was always playing the goody two shoes Wolverine, and he didn't really get to like, let loose like he did in this. And you could see it, like he enjoyed it, and it
Absolutely.
really paid off in the movie itself. Like it was really well done. But okay, sorry, I get it. I guess just to jump on the next one real quick is Nosferatu, where you seem to like it
A
a
lot in
lot,
common.
and I didn't like, and I didn't. I I thought it was visually stunning. The acting was pretty great, but like you said, Wolverine Deadpool. To me, the plot was just ridiculous. Like,
Why?
well, it's basically like it was a real estate scheme, right? He was going to go buy that castle just to get close to the wife. He
Yep.
had Nicholas Holt come out to sign some documents, basically signed his wife away. Then
Yep.
he came back to where they were at and went to get the wife. And then he just got, I don't want to spoil the whole movie, but whatever, it ended the way it ended. But to me, the plot was like, that whole thing with him having to sign documents and he signed his, when does Dracula need a document signing off like someone's wife to him, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, like,
I
and
think
why
it's
couldn't he just come right there? Like, we didn't need that whole trek of him going into that the gypsies town, like
what are you talking about? That was sick, dude.
yeah, I mean, it was okay. Like, it was just so quick, though. Like, he came in, they laughed at him. That thing happened at night, and the next day he wakes up and everybody's gone. Like,
Yep.
I felt like it slowed down the pace because I thought the girl, what's her name, Depp, um, Oh my
Oh,
god.
let me see. What's her name? Oh, how is she not top billing? Oh, Louis Rose Depp. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Lily Rose Depp. She did a phenomenal job. Nicholas Holt did a phenomenal job. I think they all did a really good
Yeah,
job
the
acting.
acting was like A plus all around.
It just dragged. I felt like the plot was so slow, and it was like, to me, that was the dumbest part. Like, he had to go out there to get a document signed. He escaped, and then Dracula Nosferatu came back anyway. And like, I don't know. I just
Well, he
it,
did sign it.
yeah, he
So
signed it, but
basically,
what did it
yeah.
matter anyway? He signed it
Well,
for
it
what?
mattered because he even told her right at the beginning. He's like, I can't have you until your bond is broken from your husband, until he legally uh gives you away. So he was tricked into going there thinking this guy was he was signing a document to buy some property. Um
But they were still
and
married. They were still by legally by the courts and all that. They were still married. That bond, that love was
maybe,
still
I mean,
there.
that's like what, like 1600, 1800 Germany? I don't know. But I think I thought it was just brilliant. Number one, the directing, and two, yes, it was a slow paced movie. I'm okay with that. Um, the setting is just so good. Like that whole scene in that small village in like Romania that you referred to, just like beautifully shot, like haunting forests throughout his journey. There's a scene right after that where he's walking toward the castle, and then that carriage starts storming toward him with the
Yeah,
black horses.
I think it was well directed and it was again visually stunning. It was definitely a beautiful movie to watch, but just the plot and I love how they slow played the reveal of Nosferatu and like, but I don't know. The story for me just was so boring. It was just I didn't like the story. It
Yeah,
didn't.
it
I
was a love
wasn't
story.
scared. It was never scared at one point. Like there was no real. There might have been like one jump scare or whatever, but I was.
Yeah.
You know, you think of Nosferatu or a Dracula movie, and you want to be like scared. You want to have that fear, and it like the slow reveal of Nosferatu was basically the only scary thing was, and that was it.
There
So
was a
I don't
few
know.
there were a few jump scares throughout, especially at the beginning when she's having a dream and she's walking in the courtyard outside, and he grabs her neck and pins her down. That was, but I think if you look at Robert Eggers' other movies, he only has like three other movies, I think. They're not,
Four, I think he has that one,
he has The
the
Witch
lighthouse,
and
the
The White
witch,
House, and then The
and
Northman.
the Northman. The Northman I liked a lot.
That's more
The
of an
witch,
action movie.
yeah, and I like the witch too. I didn't get to see the lighthouse yet.
But The Witch is similar to this in that it's like very atmospheric, very haunting, but nothing really scary happens.
The witch
Right.
built up a lot of anticipation and anxiety, and that's what kept me in it. It was
Right.
kind of
It
like,
was more claustrophobic than Nosferatu was.
yes, yes. But the whole time I was just anxious as the plot went on. It kept me, you know, livid in the plot. But this one just did not. I don't know. I just didn't. I couldn't get behind this one.
Okay. No, I respect it. I absolutely loved it. It's something that like I might buy. It's literally like one of those movies that I might buy like the 4K DVD just to enjoy the atmosphere of that he was able to create. Yeah, it wasn't as scary as I originally expected it to be at all. I'm okay with that. Um,
I
but
think that's what it was for me. I think it was just wasn't that scary, and that's what I was really hoping and looking
mhm.
forward to, and that let me down. So I think the whole movie kind of like
What did you think of
almost
the
grounded me.
voice? I didn't realize until after the fact. I read somewhere that it was Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok.
Yeah, and you know, there was a rumor they were talking about they wanted to get him for the Joker, and he
Yes,
would be a phenomenal Joker.
I think he said it actually. Like someone asked him, and he commented that he has like a Joker in mind or something like that.
The biggest fan cast for the Joker was his co-star, William Dafoe.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you've seen him with makeup on. Like I don't know if you've seen those memes with him with the make. He's like picture perfect Joker, like right out the comics.
I mean, just in the most recent Spider-Man, he plays a mad villain,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah,
insane villain. So
yeah.
it's he's not that far off. He might be his age might be an issue, but maybe not. And he's everybody loves Willem Dafoe. He was also great in this with his little funny little yeah, like that wig. That was his hairstyle was funny. I thought it was like an 80s rock star with a dusted mullet. Um,
These movies where you have directors and actors working together on multiple projects, you could see that they have a good time doing it. And
yeah,
that's why it's like, it's kind of like making a movie with your friends. And you see that, and it always comes through. You could tell when like there's miserable shooting and people are just not into it. It's
yeah,
like they're phoning it in. But when it's people constantly working together on multiple projects, you could tell they're having a good time.
yeah, yeah. And these guys, yeah, I hope they do more stuff together. I don't know what his next movie is, but Robert Eggers, this was like a passion project of his for years and years and years. So I'm glad he puts it. I fucking loved it. I've never seen the original Nosferatu, but I know it was considered, a masterpiece shortly after it came out. So I'm glad I got to see the remake. I want to give a quick shout out to Nicholas Hoult, who's in this film. He plays I don't know what's the name of his character. Thomas Hutter. He plays basically the husband, but he's also in Juror Number 2 right now that's on Max. That's phenomenal.
I gotta check that out.
And he is in another action movie that is getting incredible reviews. It's about the origins of white nationalists, and um, it's it's just getting really good reviews. I don't know where it's playing or if it's streaming or if it's in theaters, but um, I think the reason why he has like 3 incredible movies out is because of the delays with COVID and the writer's strike and all that stuff. That productions got halted and
Oh, you're
release
talking about
schedule.
The Order?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
The
I didn't
Order.
see it, but I saw a trailer for that.
Um, all 3 of these movies are like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. So good for him, man. Good for him. He's crushing it. Um,
And he's the new Lex Luthor, DCU,
that's right. That's right. And he's a new
and he
Lex Luthor.
looks like he was actually in the running for a small period of time for Superman.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, he actually I think he auditioned for it, but then they put him as Lex.
I mean, that's a good character to play too. The last Lex was pretty whack. It was
Yeah.
Eisenberg?
Oh, Jesse
Jesse
Eisenberg. That's such
Eisenberg.
a horrible take on
Yeah,
on Lex. That was really bad.
that was a forgettable take. Um, I want to quickly, I don't know, do you want to cover, I wanted to cover TV shows from 24 and kind of a few that we're looking forward to in 25. Do you want to just jump to 25 or do you have any thoughts on TV in 2024?
Um, Honestly, I mean TV 2024. Not so much TV, but there were. I don't. I mean, I'm sure we'll go deeper into this in some other episode in future episodes. But to me, I was really 2024 to me was like the year of animation. A lot of things made a comeback. You had Inside Out 2. Um, you had Transformers 1, which was a big surprise how
Hmm.
well it was made. And then The Wild Robot, which very disappointed that it didn't win any awards.
And Flow, which did win the best animated film
Flow
last
won it,
at the Flow one at the Globes. Yeah.
and that just came out. That was just released on digital. It was like a
Okay.
small, like little movie that came out. But Wild Robot to me was a pretty amazing movie. Inside Out 2 was an amazing movie. And this year of animation was pretty phenomenal. It was really well done.
Yeah.
A lot of big surprises. Um, and it was happy to see like that they're doing well. TV shows, I don't know. Do you have any TV shows that really stood out for you? I mean, I have The Boys and things like that I always enjoy.
Yeah, like the only reason I brought it up is because I was watching the Globes last night or Sunday night, and I just felt like it was such a weak year for television. Shows like, I don't know, Disclaimer, like who's watching that? And I know these are incredible actors, but I felt like most of the shows I wasn't watching and I didn't know that anybody else was watching or even talking about. This year we had really good shows. We had The Industry, which wasn't nominated. I don't know, maybe it wasn't a candidate. The Penguin was good. I thought Fallout was really good. House of the Dragon was okay, wasn't nominated for anything. I don't think it deserved any nominations. And Presumed Innocent on Apple, I thought was probably my favorite surprise of the year. Um, there was a nomination for that, but it didn't win. And Baby Reindeer won. I'm glad that won. That was really, really powerful show. And then a show that I really love, The Man on the Inside with Ted Danson. It's like a little 30-minute comedy.
Oh wow,
But
I never heard of that.
it's pretty good. It's on Netflix. It just got renewed for season 2. The Agency, my favorite show right now, also got renewed for season 2. That's still going though. But yeah, not much other than that.
Now, I'm not a big awards person, but let me see if I got this clear. So the Golden Globes is basically TV and film.
Hmm.
The Oscars is just film,
Yeah,
and the Emmys is just TV.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So the tier is sort of like the Emmys are the top award for television, and the Oscars are the top award for film. And then the Golden Globes traditionally exist a little bit outside the box, where they usually nominate stuff that isn't, traditionally the front runners, and they honor sort of like upcoming talent, upcoming creators and shows. But their entire voting platform changed recently, so I'm not really sure what their role is, but it's not taken as serious as the Oscars or the Emmys. And one of the reasons I think is because they divide the categories into drama and comedy, or like, for example, in film, in the Oscars, there's only one best picture. It's the best picture is the best movie of the year. In the Oscars, there's best picture drama, best picture comedy, musical. And then the categories often don't make sense. Like The Bear is considered a comedy, even though that is not a comedy. So the categories are wonky. They also introduced like biggest box office success, and Wicked won that, even though Inside Out 2 was the biggest box office success, and Deadpool was also made more money than Wicked did. So it's kind of like a nonsense kind of award. But traditionally, the Globes is like they nominate a lot of people because they want a lot of people to go. And by people, I mean celebrities, and people tend to get drunk, have fun, creates like some really interesting news stories. And then it also is a prelude to the Oscars. So people say, oh, Zoe Saldana just won Best Actress for drama. Could she now be the leading contender to win Best Actress at the Oscars for this role?
Gotcha.
So it's basically like award season. Everything leads up to the Oscars, which is like the main one. I'm always excited for that. And then what they do is generally after the Oscar nominations are announced, sometimes a lot of those movies will come back to theaters so people get a chance to watch before the show.
I'm realizing a lot of this stuff. I mean, some of the stuff is on my list to watch. Some things I have watched, but a lot of stuff I have not watched.
Me either. That's why I was like, I haven't watched any of these shows and they don't look good.
Shogun is definitely one of the shows that I have on my list to watch. And movie I have on my list to watch was Anora.
Yeah.
But I did watch.
Anora is still not. Oh, Anora is on my list. Yeah, that's been on my list since I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, those two I definitely want to check out. I've seen Only Murders in the Building, The Bear, House of the Dragon, but there's so much on here that these. I don't agree with. The Substance is on here. That was okay. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That wasn't on my list.
I didn't watch that. It's supposed to be good, but didn't interest me.
But so much stuff on here that I didn't. Who got? Sorry, I'm dragging it out now. It was just one of the female nominations. Was it Jodie Foster? Yeah, Jodie Foster.
Yeah, she won for True Detective, which I was like, wow,
Night
True
Country,
Detective.
which was not that great. I saw that, and it was not that great. And I thought Christina, whatever her name was, her last million, whatever, from the Penguin. She did a
Mhm.
pretty phenomenal job.
Well, she was
Um,
nominated.
she was nominated, but she didn't. I don't know how she lost. Jodie Foster was okay. She did a good job on it, but what Christina Milian, whatever her name is, did in the Penguin was pretty, pretty
Yeah, I
top
thought
tier.
it. Yeah, like that was one of those categories where I think Jodie Foster is excellent every single time. I just didn't think the show was very good, and particularly towards the end. And I also feel like did that show come out this year or last year? I was like, oh wow,
I think it was really early this year. That's another
okay.
thing too. Like some things that come out so early in the year, and then you're like, wait, was that this year or last year?
Like
Another one
Shogun,
was
Shogun came out over a year ago, I think. Maybe not.
uh,
I don't know.
Amelia Perez too. That's another one that I didn't watch, and it has like top tier actresses in it.
Yeah, that's one of those. I just know like that movie's. It just didn't hit with me. The trailer. I didn't. Not really interested in seeing that one, but we'll see. But you also get to see like there's some woman won for a movie. I'm Still Here, and then I ended up looking up the trailer, and I was like, okay, I might check this out. She won for like best actress. Also, the movie Flow, the animated movie Flow. I want to see that.
That's
Being that,
definitely next on my list to watch with the family.
so it does open me up to like what other stuff came out that isn't actually on my radar. That's another reason I like to watch these shows, just to get a little bit more exposure.
Definitely the worst for me, like this year. At least not, I wouldn't say like the worst, but just like highly anticipated was like the Joker. That was a big letdown to a lot of people.
That was a disaster. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest, and Craven was just horrible. That and Madam Web, like top
Madam Web was
top.
this year.
Yeah, it was. That's another one that was like early in the year. I think it came out in like January, and that was horrible. Um, but to me,
Yeah,
the surprises was like the animation was a lot of like surprises to me.
I recently read that despite Sony's attempt to destroy the Spider Verse, they actually made a profit on all of those films because Venom just like put them over the top. So
You're talking about um, collectively, not
just like the
individually.
collectively, yeah. So like
Yeah, yeah, because no way.
Morbius, Craven, whatever, all those horrible movies, plus the three Venoms, they ended up making a profit on.
Yeah, that's just because of the Venom, though. Because
Yeah,
Morbius lost money, Madam Web lost money, Craven like probably lost the most money. Craven was really bad. Like I saw it, and it was just,
you
and
know
I
that.
feel bad. I like that actor, but
Yeah,
it was just
he's in
bad.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, yeah, he's
It's like,
yeah,
how are you gonna do something like so high level? And then I get it. You want to be the action, like you want to have it both. You want to do the high end, like high art kind of movie, and then you also want to be like a badass kind of action movie star. Like if you can do both, that's an amazing career.
he gave it in Craven. It just the story was horrible. Like you can't say like, oh, he phoned it in and that's why it was bad. No, he gave it in Craven. Like you could tell he put it in, but it was a story. It was just so horrible. And the other guy who played opposite him was just not not great either. But yeah, Fallout. I agree with you. Fallout was great. Um, kids animation again. Bluey was like every year it comes out. Bluey's phenomenal. That's like one of those shows that are like a tearjerker for the parents.
Are they still making those?
They're actually going to come out with a movie in 2027, I think. So
Okay.
they took a hiatus on the show. Bear is really good. Just trying to think. I'm watching the Skeleton Crew with my daughter, the Star Wars one, and I'm not really loving that. Uh,
Didn't even consider it.
I'm
Um,
watching Creatures Commandos by myself, and I'm loving that.
that's good.
The
I'm like 3 episodes in.
you saw the episode with GI Robot?
Yeah, I mean
Oh
that's the
my,
best episode.
yeah. I mean that episode was
Good
so
twist.
great. Oh my gosh. And the music, James Gunn is like such such a click to pick the right songs to go with the moments.
Yeah.
And that song with GI Robot was phenomenal. And like, oh man, it was just so well done. to make you care about a robot. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Well, they humanize him because, like, the guy was like he needed a friend, and he found a friend in the robot, and then it's just that plot twist. I didn't see that coming. That was sick.
so that's been a nice surprise too. That's been a good surprise.
2025. I was just looking at some lists, like what's coming out. Um, we have Severance coming out on Apple TV Plus. I'm looking forward to that. But then I'm just gonna list a few of these things because I know we're running out of time. So we have Last of Us coming out in April. We have Alien Earth coming out in the summer. White Lotus is back. Stranger Things is back. Are you interested in Stranger Things? Oh no, this kid's got to be like 25
Yes.
right now.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Stranger Things.
Okay, there's a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones spin-off.
I'll probably give it a try. Game of
I'm gonna
Thrones
watch it.
stuff is like hit or miss. Daredevil Born Again. That's a
Oh,
big
that's
one
coming
coming
back.
up. Yeah.
Are you interested in Wednesday season 2?
Yes, we actually saw it as a family season 1, and it was pretty well done.
Okay. Black Mirror is coming back for another
Really,
season. Yeah,
they've been falling off the last couple of seasons, I feel.
hard,
Yeah, really
falling off
hard.
hard, man. Yeah, last
Um,
season was not good.
so let's see. Real quick, did you happen to see maybe there's something we touch on next pod? Don't Die, the Brian Johnson special on Netflix. They did a
No.
doc on him. They really humanized him. I liked it. I like his stuff. He publishes everything. It's about longevity. We've talked
Oh,
about
your
him before.
boy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But
yeah, you did mention that.
I like him for certain aspects. Like I like him that he publishes everything. Everything is open for everybody to like check out the results, what he does. They could try to mirror it. What I don't like sometimes is he's kind of trying to feed into the hate, and
Hmm.
he jokes around a little too much. And if your true point is to try to get longevity out to the mass public and get them to live longer, better lives, I think he's deteriorating his message with all the jokey stuff. Like,
Okay. Where do you see
I
they follow him on social or?
yeah, but like a lot of YouTube stuff and a lot of like Instagram stuff. But he's always
Okay.
joking around. Like people are always calling him like a vampire. A lot of penis jokes because he was talking about nighttime erections. But people don't get it. Like, you know, if you ask doctors, they'll tell you, like cardiologists, like erectile dysfunction is one of the top canary in the coal mines before a cardiac arrest because of but certain things like
He
um,
falls for the trap. Yeah.
yeah, and he kind of like feeds into it and it kind of deteriorates his message, and I don't like that. There's a lot of good info that he's putting out, that people could utilize. But anyway, this doc on Netflix kind of humanized him. I liked it a lot.
Is it produced, directed, written, and edited by him?
No, no, this is like no, no, no. I mean, his story that he sold like PayPal.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Okay,
got like
maybe I'll watch it.
eight
What's
hundred
it
million
called?
dollars.
It's called Don't Die.
Don't Die, the man who wants to live forever. But I
Okay.
think I did a good job of like getting behind the screen and seeing like what he's kind of about.
Um, so another show that I don't know much about, it's called Zero Day. It's with Robert De Niro. It's like a political conspiracy theory show. That sounds dope to me. There's another show called The Studio with Seth Rogen. It's like a comedy about Hollywood executives, which
Okay.
sounds awesome. I think that's on Apple TV. Your Friends and Neighbors is a show with my guy John Hamm about a wealthy like Wall Street guy that goes broke and then he sort of starts a scam to keep up his lifestyle and his family's lifestyle.
I think
Uh,
I've heard that plot a couple of times.
yeah,
Keeping up with the Joneses and all that.
and yeah, that's kind of like it on
Well,
my list for
it
this year.
funny you
Yeah.
said that.
Oh,
It,
yeah.
Welcome to Derby. That's coming up.
What's that
Uh,
story about? What is that?
I think it takes place in the 1960s. It's an earlier version
So
leading up to the events of Stephen King's, like the first film adaptation. So it's
okay,
it's a, kind of a prequel, I guess. Uh,
because the first
and
one in the book, it's also in the 50s, isn't that? Or is it in the 80s? Or do
I
they reference the 50s?
They reference the 50s, but I think the
Okay,
first film is like in
yeah,
the 80s, and then it's like 20 something odd years later. They follow the kids from the
yeah, you're
80s.
right. You're right. They reference these strange occurrences happening every like 25 years or something, and they go back to that 50s era. Okay.
Animation, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that's coming out this year. That's a big one people are looking forward to. Suits LA.
Yeah,
I think Scott was the one who was
that would
getting
be
back into Suits.
A Scott banger, I think.
They're doing Suits LA, which is it's actually the guy who played Green Arrow. Um, damn, what the heck's his name?
I don't know if anyone is gonna know his name.
Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell. He's like the lead guy on there.
Is that a
Um,
Netflix or that might be like Paramount or Peacock?
I'm not sure. Dexter. There's actually a
Oh,
season right now
I
of
watched it.
Original Sin. You did? What do you think of it so far?
It they release every week. I think the first four, maybe now 5 or 6 episodes might be out. It's pretty good, actually.
Really?
Um,
I'm telling you,
yeah,
the trailer
it's.
looked like an SNL skit. I
I
was
know it
not
looked like a train wreck.
cheesy.
The first episode is still not great, but once he sort of settles into Dexter, it's good. And respect to this actor, bro. He got the mannerisms like perfect. And it's creepy when you see it. You're like, holy shit, that is Dexter. Like you
I
believe
saw
it.
I saw like a preview of the first 10 minutes, and you know, not a spoiler alert, but Michael C. Hall survives, and they're bringing him like in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's why they're going to do the 2025 one is going to be Dexter Resurrection. That's also coming out this year.
Okay. So that takes place after whatever. So right now the setup for this series is that Dexter, something happened at the end of the one where he's in Alaska and he's like in a coma and
He got
he's
shot by
reflecting.
his son.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. And he's like, how did I get here? And he's sort of reflecting on his life, something like that.
Which
And
kind of killed it because it was poetic justice that his son killed him, and they kind of let the show end like that. And then I guess it did pretty well. So now they're like, well, we're gonna do Original Sin, which is kind of like his life flashing before his eyes of how he got started.
yeah.
And then I guess Resurrection takes place after, you know, the doctors heal him up or whatever.
Yeah, I think it loses some impact because have you watched Dexter all the way through?
Yes, yes, I did.
So
I love Dexter. Like the first couple of seasons were amazing, and then it
so
started going off.
there's uh a lot of like spoilers within the Dexter show, the original show, like where he comes from, who his original parents are. He had a brother, how his dad um you know where his dad rescued him from. So we we see all of that sort of like happen in this one. So this one takes place in the 90s, but then there's a flashback to the 70s with the dad, played by Christian Slater, who then in that story is about Dexter's dad plus the informant, his mother, that he was working with, and how they ultimately ended up in the container full of blood.
But don't forget, that's his adoptive dad. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
his
what I mean.
biological. Oh, okay,
So
okay.
you see like little 3-year-old Dexter in those flashbacks. To me, it loses some of the impact because we know we had that impact already with the original Dexter when he found out where he comes from. So
Yeah, and his
they're
brother.
showing you, they're showing you, but it's less interesting seeing it. The sausage is always more interesting than how it's actually made. You know,
Yeah, I guess I could give more credence to this one, Original Sin, because it's kind of like showing you how it got to this point, how he originated. Where Resurrection to me is kind of like a cop out because they kind of killed him a couple times already. Like, and
yeah,
it's like, okay,
keep
I
bringing him
mean,
back. He's like Jason Voorhees.
so I don't know, unless they could somehow figure out a way to bring back Dokes, which was one of the best
Yeah, he's not
character
in it
interactions.
surprisingly, but
No,
maybe he'll show up.
that would be
Um,
cool. I hope they do.
One cool thing they do, like he has these weird gestures with his hand and mannerisms that the original Dexter does that this guy copies, and it's brilliant when you see it. But also, like, you know how Dexter brings donuts every day in the original show?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Try to be human.
this guy figures out, like, you get to see like how and why he brings the donuts. Like stuff like that is cool.
That's another one on my list. I think we actually started watching again, like I saw the preview for it, like the first 10 minutes. So I think that's actually going to be the really next thing that we watch.
His sister. There's a scene. His sister's played by this beautiful, very charming actress too, Deb. And there's this great scene where she's like trying to score some coke to impress like some friends of hers. And he comes up, Dexter, she's like, Dexter, can you get me some coke? And he's like, no, but I'll make you some. So he mixes like caffeine with some other thing, and like, you know, bonds has this little short bond with his sister because everyone, they're kids, so they all think they're doing coke. Um, and like she gets like a big win in that episode thanks to Dexter. They have an interesting dynamic that obviously plays through in the real Dexter show, but you see it here and it feels real, it feels genuine. It's cool.
Yeah, she's always had this. I mean, and it's a good explanation as why she never, you know, picked him as a serial killer because she's always had this blind love for him.
Yeah.
He was her brother, and that love blinded her. She couldn't see it. So I get that.
And she's too busy trying to live up to her dad to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
anything else.
yeah, yeah. That's a good point too. Um, so that was some TV shows, some movies, real quick. Um, for me, number one, Superman.
It
I
looks
mean,
good.
yeah, one that crept up that was like out of nowhere, Happy Gilmore 2. Did you see the
Yeah,
trailer for that? Out of nowhere.
I did. I just saw the teaser. Like, yeah, I had no idea that was coming.
We got a new
When
Jurassic
Netflix
Park.
was like, "We'll give you any money you want, just do
Yeah, he's got a
it."
good deal with them. Like it's like
They're
um
subscribing to him.
yeah, yeah, basically. Um Jurassic Park Rebirth, that's going to be a new one.
Is that trailer out?
No, and I'm not sure exactly what it's about.
They need to.
Um
That series needs to get regrounded in reality a little bit. I know it's a dinosaur movie, but
and
let's.
from what I heard, it's definitely not. I think it's going
Oh,
to be.
okay. Damn.
I think it's talking again about like I don't know. This is just what you're hearing in the ether is that it's going to be like a human dinosaur hybrid type thing. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god.
Yeah, so I think they're going the other way with it.
I was just watching. I didn't watch the movie, but I put Jurassic Park on. I always have to have like if I'm making coffee, breakfast, anything, I'll just like throw a movie on. So I threw on Jurassic Park and I watched like one or two scenes, and the pacing is so good because you get moments where you're just like sitting with the characters and they're just talking about stuff.
The original?
The original.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, you kick into like the dinosaur chase scenes and all that. But these movies lack any sort of human moments that you buy in. I don't know. I stopped watching them.
Yeah, these new ones, yeah, they definitely lack that. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the pacing because it gives you time to like delve into the characters and feel something for them. And
Yeah.
by the time you catch feelings for them, they're being thrown into this horrible situation, and you're like really grabbing at sheets, wondering what's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
Captain America's coming out very soon. Wicked for Good.
What is that?
That's the part two of Wicked.
Oh, okay.
Um, Another big one that I think we're all looking forward to, 28 years later.
Oh yeah. Is that first half of the year?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Snow White looks horrible. Live action How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
You know another one that snuck up on me, and I actually like when I'm cooking or something like that, I throw something on. I have it on my phone, like on the counter while I'm like whatever mixing eggs. Um, it was Den of Thieves 2. So I
I
just threw
gotta.
on Den of Thieves 1 so I could watch it.
It's on Max. Yeah, it keeps appearing on Max for me. Like, yo, watch this, and yeah, now I just read that part two was coming out.
It's coming out this week. It's coming out like Thursday. Yeah, that's
Okay.
another one that was like, and Wolfman too. I just saw the trailer for that when I went to go see
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Yeah, and it looks like I don't know. It looks
It looks
okay.
scary as hell, but the reviews are pretty bad, unfortunately.
I
But
I, I
I
don't know
still
if the
kind of want to
story.
see it.
One of the best werewolf transformations that I've ever seen was this show on Netflix. Damn. Um, Whatever. I'll come back to that. Another one is Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's coming out this year?
Yeah, that's coming out. this year, which will lead us
We
hope.
haven't seen anything for that movie, right? No trailer, nothing.
There was a trailer that they released. Well, I guess it got like leaked out.
Oh, that one, yeah, at the Disney event, right?
Yeah, and it was oh my gosh, the guy from oh my gosh, that main actor, Pedro Pascal. And he
Okay.
was like leading a class.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Let's see what else.
What about Steven Soderbergh? He's dropping Presents. It's that horror movie, but it's from the point of view of the ghost that's haunting the family in the house. Have you seen
Oh,
that?
no, I didn't hear that about that.
That's coming out, I think, at the end of the month. It's called
Oh, really?
Presents. Yeah, check out the trailer when you get a chance. It's supposed to be super scary.
I
Uh,
did see that they were releasing a Valentine's Day horror movie.
yeah, it's called Hearts something. I saw the movie poster when I went to see. By the way, I saw A Complete Unknown, that Bob Dylan biopic with Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, how was that?
It's excellent, really good. I don't know anything about Bob Dylan. He's one of those artists that it's like one day I'll sit and listen to Bob Dylan's records and sort of read about him. So this was a good entry point into that character, into that person, artist. But the movie takes place between 63 and 65, just those two early years. It's really good. Recommend it if you got that unlimited pass.
Bob Dylan. Yeah, yeah. Um, Thunderbolts, the new Mission Impossible,
Oh yeah, I'm going in on that.
Lilo and Stitch. Oh, Minecraft. That's another big one too.
That looks that might be funny. That might be
Yeah,
good.
they just had. I just saw a new trailer for it. We went to go see Moana, and it looked pretty good. Karate Kid Legends,
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that probably, but
and then Dogman. That's another like
Dogman?
yeah.
Is that a horror movie?
No, no, it's like a famous
Oh yeah.
children's book.
This guy looks I never seen this guy, but he looks pretty awesome. He looks like a cookie.
Yeah, my daughter actually read those graphic novels for Dogman. It's pretty funny. Um, there was another one too that it was like really weird. Electric State.
Electric State. That sounds familiar.
Um, it's with Chris Pratt and some little girl, and I think it might be a Netflix movie.
That horror movie you're talking about, is it called Heart Eyes?
Yes, 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 yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it. I just saw the poster at the movie theater.
Oh, another one too, The Monkey. I saw a trailer for that.
Stephen King, yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty good too.
That trailer is
Um,
out?
yeah, the trailer was in the theater for. I think it came out for Nosferatu.
Oh, I
It
didn't
was.
see that one. I missed that one.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. They're doing that this year as well.
Yeah, is that the same cast like 40 years later? What is up with
I
that?
think it's going to be one of those requels. Like they're kind of like redoing it, but they're bringing back kind of like how they did for Scream, and they're trying to establish a new cast, but they're bringing back some old favorites.
Oh, okay. So it's like, this is my niece. Why are you torturing
Yeah,
her?
because those actors definitely signed on to do this, so I know they're going to be in it. Sinners with Michael B. Jordan. I think that's a vampire movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's like vampire action.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh, you know what was another really weird one I saw? Death of a Unicorn.
The
The
hell
trailer
is
for
that?
that. Oh my gosh, it's
Just pulling it up. Oh, with Paul Rudd?
yeah, it looks very strange, man. It's like
Who's directing this? Let me see. Oh, it's an A24 movie. This looks bizarre. Even the the poster. I'll check that out. Alex Schafferman is directing that. What else did he do?
and I mean it's really about a unicorn. It's like something that they could find the pharmaceutical benefits of like the unicorn grinding the horn or the unicorn's blood or it was so like really ridiculous. Oh, I found it that I was saying the best werewolf transformation was Hemlock Grove.
Oh, I don't
Um
know that.
yeah, and that actually has our boy Bill Skarsgård in it. He was the main guy.
Oh,
He was like a vampire in it.
what is it called?
It is called Hemlock Grove. I thought it had some big um, director or creator on it. I can't remember. It was somebody I liked. I can't remember who did it. Oh, Eli Roth. That's right. He was
Oh,
part
he
of it.
did this. It was a movie.
No, this is a show. It was a series. It was pretty interesting. It was about like kind of werewolves and vampires, but different take on it. But absolutely one of the best. Like the werewolf, it's an actual huge wolf that like
Oh, cool.
kind of explodes out of a human body. But not only that, it eats the remnants of the human body after it bursts through it. It was really phenomenal. It was, oh my gosh, it was such a great transformation. But it was a cool show. It was I think I don't think was it more than one season? It might have been two
I
seasons,
think it
but
was 2 seasons.
it was pretty first season was pretty good, and then I think it fell off.
Yeah, it's hard for those shows to be sustainable on like a high level.
I know there's a couple other things like I know they're doing another Final Destination. Um, I think Brad Pitt's doing like a racing movie. There's a couple. Oh, they're redoing The Running Man with the guy from Twister.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. So
Yeah,
I might go back and watch the OG. I haven't seen that since
yeah,
I was
with
a kid.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Oh, Mortal Kombat too. Mortal Kombat 1 was actually surprisingly really good.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that. I thought it was
yeah,
gonna be ass, but it wasn't.
they're gonna have the guy from The Boys. He's gonna be playing who's the movie star guy? Not Luke Cage. Who's the movie star guy? Oh my
The
gosh.
movie star guy?
In the Mortal Kombat games.
It is Luke Cage. Oh,
Is it or
Johnny Blaze.
no,
Is Johnny Blaze the guys? No, who
no,
am I
that's
thinking of?
Johnny Blaze is Ghost Rider, I think.
So it's Luke Cage.
No, Luke Cage was the main guy. It was somebody else. It was Johnny something.
Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage.
Okay.
A mixture of the two put together.
Yeah, yeah.
Carl Urban. Carl Urban. Yeah, the first one was surprisingly good. So I hope this one keeps up with it. I think they're putting a lot of good work into it, and they want to make it just right before it comes out. So we'll see. Yeah, a lot of good stuff to look forward to 2025. For me, again, my top, what I'm looking forward to is Superman. What about you?
I think my top is probably 28 Days Later. Superman is high on my list just because of how impressive that first trailer was. We'll see as more of the movie starts rolling out, but it looks good. But 28 Days Later is probably top of my list. That's going to be good, and it's going to allow me to revisit the first two movies, which I haven't seen in such a long time.
Superman has a lot of like riding on it, for the DCU and how they're going to follow through with it. I know they already are filming Supergirl, and they announced Lobo in it, who is going to
I
be
heard.
who is playing Aquaman in the
Yeah,
which is
man,
kind of weird.
I listened to an interview or something with him. It was just like a soundbite. He was like, "Yeah, Lobo, he's one of my favorite characters as a kid. I always wanted to play him." And I'm like, "Man, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, you don't have to sell that story like that. Like, you just Aquaman." Also, I don't like when they cast the same, and I know that's common now. Like, they couldn't find another guy to play Lobo because Aquaman, is he like gone now? That like
Yeah,
that
they're
version of it is just
yeah.
done.
Which I hope this confusion doesn't destroy, before it even starts. But they're keeping some stuff. They're not keeping other stuff. Like they're keeping Peacemaker and some things from like Suicide Squad, but they're not keeping other things as canon. And I know it's like it's fake, and it's James Gunn said that it's like it's all not real. Yeah, but like you also don't want to confuse the audience if you're trying to start something new, fresh, and you're trying to build on it. Um, but we'll
You know,
see. I mean, I hope this doesn't falter. I hope like there's so much riding on it for DC. And their shows have been, pretty good. Penguin was pretty good. Um,
yeah, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. I'm sure they have a long-term plan, at least 5 6 years ahead they have planned out. I know the Batman just got delayed, but
You
that's
know,
okay.
and did you hear the rumors of why they're delaying that?
Why?
Because they're trying to incorporate it into this universe with Superman. And he's
Okay.
trying to kind of like put in a hold on it because you don't want to have two different Batmans, two different this, two different. That's why they canceled Superman and Lois, because they didn't want confusion before the big Superman movie comes out.
Okay, so
So
one Superman, one universe in general.
unless they do some kind of multiverse thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, I say keep it simple. Do one movie at a time. Don't get ahead of your skis.
Yeah, yeah. But well, that was good. I mean, I think we'll definitely dig into it a little bit more when the other
I,
guys come back on.
yeah, excited to hear what those two guys are looking for. I think given the writer's strike, pandemic, all that stuff kind of behind us now, I feel like 2025 is going to be a more consistent year, and hopefully we'll have more stuff coming out. The list that you and I just went through is really extensive, so I think there'll be plenty of stuff for us to talk about in 2025.
And I think you made a good point with Nicholas Holt, why so much stuff is like coming out now, because we're starting to get out of that bubble with the production, and a lot more movies are being more timely now. So, but it's also funny because a lot of things are also being pushed. You have a lot of things that aren't coming out until like 2027.
Yeah,
So it's like it's a contrast out there. But I think you're right. I think 2025 it's going to really hit a bigger stride. 2024 was just the tip of the iceberg. In 2025, we're going to push through.
yeah, 100%. All right, guys. We'll publish this shortly, and then we'll be back next week. See you later.
Peace.